Hello, today we're here to talk with HeatherAsh Amara about her studies, her books, and her training. HeatherAsh, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I was raised in Southeast Asia and traveled all around the world, and that's really where I got interested in spiritual traditions and learned how diverse we are as humans and how much beauty there is in the world. And I actually started writing my first book when I was 7 years old. I remember sitting down with a piece of paper and starting to write and I'm writing a book, it's going to be great. And about a page in, I went, I don't think I have enough experience to write this book. So I went off and played, and 27 years later, or whatever it's been, I realized I do have something to say. I'd been studying with Don Miguel Ruiz and learning the Four Agreements and learning a lot of the different Toltec teachings. And what started me exploring writing at that point was realizing that myself and a lot of my friends, that we were making really amazing changes in our life, but they weren't sticking. So we'd make a big shift and then we'd go back to old patterns. And so I got really curious, why is this happening? We're all powerful people. We've been learning these teachings that are so comprehensive, and yet it's not sticking. And what I learned was that part of what's happening is that when we go to make change, you imagine that we're born and we create these structures inside of ourselves that make us feel stable, that create a sense of identity. And then we get this bright idea, I think I'll take the structures apart. The moment you start taking the structure apart, what happens is we start feeling wobbly. And so we usually end up grabbing the old structure and putting it back. And so it was that realization of we just need a new structure that created my first book, Toltec Path of Transformation. And as I continued to study the Toltec teachings, I was inspired to start a community, because I saw that when people come together and are doing the same type of work, everything accelerates tremendously. So I was really grateful to help to foster community, not only in local areas, but also online. And that was then the foundation that birthed the Warrior Goddess movement.
So you did write a book. Tell me about your book, Warrior Goddess Training.
Warrior Goddess Training came from my years of teaching women in circles. And when I moved from California to Texas, I had women saying, please keep working with us. And that was when I started doing long distance programs. And so I decided, okay, let's work together for a year. I'll do coaching with you and I'll write an article every month. And that was actually the birth of Warrior Goddess Training. And I love how much time I cultivated and carved and worked with the teachings for it to become this book. And it's a fun story. My publisher called me one day and said, okay, what's your next book after Toltec Path of Transformation? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't have a book. I was going through a really hard time. And he said, well, give me something you've already written. And I was like, well, I have this woman's stuff. And he's like, let me see it. So we agreed that that was the book. And then I got to go in and rewrite big chunks of Warrior Goddess Training and bring it up to date. So that was really a great joy. And the gift with that book is that there's something as an author that you can do, which is the day the book launches, you can call all your friends and say, everybody, go buy the book on Amazon, and it shoots up to #1 for an hour or a day. And you can say I'm a best-selling author and it's awesome, cool, and then it falls back off to number 11,482. So we did this where I called my friends. It shot up to #1 in shamanism and goddesses. But what's unusual about Warrior Goddess Training is it never came back down again. So for the last 2+ years now, it's been #1 in those categories and continues to grow because we're hungry, we're looking for transformation. And Warrior Goddess Training has really practical tools, because that's what I believe in. How do we make transformation actually happen? How do we stop just thinking about it or wishing for it? And how do we bring it into action?
Well, congratulations on being a best-selling author.
Thank you.
Once people have read the book and it speaks to them, what are their options to go further?
There's so many different ways that I've created to help women to come together and go deeper with the teachings. So one is we have a Warrior Goddess Tribe Facebook page, and there's amazing things that are happening there, women supporting each other. There's also many workshops that I do. I do Warrior Goddess Weekends, and those are 3 days that women from all over the world come together and learn and study the tools and take it out of the black and white pages and really into the color of life. And women make best friends with each other, have lifelong relationships, and create huge change in their lives just over those 3 days. I also take groups to Mexico and to Peru, and I found it's really helpful for us to get out of our everyday life, to go someplace beautiful, to go someplace sacred, and to learn a new way of being, to come back into harmony with ourselves, and then be able to bring that beauty back home. And I also have an extensive online program because I am so passionate about helping women wherever they are. I've always had women coming up to me saying, "How can I work with you? I live in the middle of nowhere." And I say, "Great, come online with me." And the Warrior Goddess Training is an online program where women from all over the world come together. They have access to me once a week. We do classes every week. There's a really beautiful website with a lot of teachings, and there's many, many tools that aren't in the book and aren't anywhere else.
Thank you, HeatherAsh.
Thank you.
If you're interested in becoming part of the Warrior Goddess Tribe and studying with HeatherAsh Amara, please go to HeatherAshAmara.com. Go to Facebook and you can find the Warrior Goddess Facebook Tribe page. We'd love to see you there. Or you can check out any of HeatherAsh's other books on Amazon.com.